am making this video to try to speak logically to the folks of Channahon about trucking, the truck industry, truck traffic, and how it pertains to our town. Now, before I get into the meat of this video, full disclosure, my wife and I do own half of a small trucking company. We have a fleet of 4 semis. Our trucks are in Joliet, and they never come through Channahon nor Minooka. Having said all of that, I want to address the people who have an issue with the trucking industry in our town, with truck traffic in our town, and more specifically, have an issue with our village board as a result of all of it. So, the first thing I want to say is trucking distribution, actually, not trucking, but distribution is the predominant industry in our region. Small towns like ours live and die by the industry that's presented to them based on the region that they're in. If we were in the Northeast, our predominant industry would be fishing. If we were in Southern California, our predominant industry would be tourism. If we were in Iowa, our predominant industry would be agriculture. If we were in Texas, our predominant industry, depending on where we were, might be cattle or oil. But where we're at, our predominant industry is distribution. We are the crossroads of the United States of America. Chicago is the 3rd largest metro area, and we are the container hub of America. We have the nation's largest inland port in our backyard. So, distribution is our predominant industry. That's the first fact I want to lay out there. The second fact I want to lay out there is that we, as a village, Channahon, cannot control who drives on all of our roads. Route 6 is not a village road. Bluff Road is not a village road. Ridge Road is not a village road. We cannot control who drives on those roads. Next, I want to say that the communities around us, Minooka, Morris, Joliet, Wilmington, Braidwood, Diamond, Rockdale, Shorewood, Bolingbrook, every single community around us is grabbing its portion of the trucking and distribution industry's tax dollars. I say all of that so that I can say this. If we understand that all of those are facts, the trucking industry is the predominant industry, the distribution, trucking goes along with it. Distribution is the predominant industry in our area. All of the surrounding communities, all of the communities that exist around us are all getting their fair share of those tax dollars. And we cannot control who drives on our roads. If you take all of those as given facts, then you must understand that no matter what Channahon does, we will continue to get increased truck traffic. Channahon can say today, we're never going to approve another warehouse. We're never going to approve another truck stop. We're never going to approve another truck parking lot. We're never going to approve any kind of diesel mechanic or truck maintenance facility. And as a matter of fact, we're going to go back and pull the permits and licenses for all of those types of companies that exist. We're going to shut down every warehouse that exists within Channahon city limits. We're going to shut down every truck stop that exists within Channahon limits. We're going to shut down every truck parking space. Even if Channahon did that, they shut down all of the existing truck-related and distribution-related industries and simultaneously said, we're never going to approve another one as long as we're in existence. We are still going to get more truck traffic. Because as long as all the communities around us are taking their fair share of a growing industry, the predominant industry in our area, distribution, then we're going to get more trucks in our town. We can't stop it. We're going to get, even if we never approved another truck-related business, we're going to get more trucks down Route 6. We're going to get more trucks where I live. Full disclosure, I live in the neighborhood across the street from the golf course up on the bluff, so I live at Bluff and 55. We're going to get more trucks through there. We're going to get more trucks up and down Ridge Road. We're going to get more trucks up and down 55 and 80. We can't stop it. Ever. So if you understand all of that, if you understand the facts that I've laid out at the beginning of this, and the fact that we are never going to stop increased truck traffic in our town, it leaves us with 2 choices. As a village, we can get the increased trucks, which we're going to get no matter what. We can get the increased truck traffic and none of the corresponding tax revenue that goes along with it, or we can take the increased truck traffic and get our fair share of the truck revenue, the shipping revenue that goes with it. Those are really our two choices. Either way, we're going to get more truck traffic, no matter what we do. So we might as well take advantage of the situation and capture some of the tax revenue that goes along with it. Villages and towns and cities and communities that do not incorporate some form of commercial tax base end up having to put all of the tax burden on their residents. If you want to see a Chicagoland town that's a shining example of this, go see Glendale Heights, Illinois. Years and years and years ago, Glendale Heights turned their back on industry, and they said, we don't want industry in our town. And as a result, the tax burden had to be placed solely on the retail and residential people in the town. Now, Glendale Heights is a beautiful town, don't get me wrong, but they're taxed through the ass. Why? Because the citizens are carrying almost 100% of the tax burden, because there's no industrial, there's no corporate tax base to take some of that burden off of the residents. We don't have that problem here. If the industry that's in this town wasn't here, our taxes would be going through the roof exponentially as homeowners. So what is the village doing about all of this? Well, I think that the village is doing a very smart play, a long run play here, in how it wants to lay out where this industry can be in the village. If you will notice, the village of Channahon is keeping, to the best of its ability, the warehouses and industry on the far ends of town, right? On the east side of 55 and all the way out by well past Jewel. What's that road out there that, I'm drawing a blank now, forgive me, that accesses to I-80 right by the new truck stop out there. Anyway, you know which one I'm talking about. There are large patches of empty land along Route 6. Like when you get off of 55 and you start heading into town, you'll see empty land on either side of the highway. The village has been approached by warehouses to develop those patches of land, and the village keeps turning them down because they don't want warehouses along the main drag through town. They're keeping the industry at the far stretches of the town. I think that that's an intelligent move. It is capturing some of the revenue that goes along with this industry, because we're going to have the trucks anyway. Might as well have them stop here and fill up. Might as well have some of the warehouses here where we're going to be able to capture some of that tax revenue. They're capturing some of the tax revenue while doing their very best to minimize the effect on the town. So I have absolutely no problem with the way our village is currently going about laying out how, where, and when warehouses and distribution centers and truck stops and things of that nature are going to exist in this town. Now, what we see on these community pages far too often is people come in here and say, with all due respect, idiotic things like, well, the village board sold us all out to the trucking industry and they don't care about us. They don't care if we have to sit in truck traffic all day long. They're pocketing money. They're getting kickbacks, yada, 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 et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Do you understand that the members of the village board, the people who, for the most part, work in the village hall, and the people who are on the village board all the way up to and including the mayor, they all live here with us? So if there's increased truck traffic in our town, they are going to have to deal with it too. It's not like they have a special lane that allows them to get around the traffic. And contrary to popular belief, the mayor does not possess her own helicopter to allow her to fly over her kingdom. They're sitting in truck traffic with the rest of us. And whether they approve more warehouses or don't approve more warehouses, we're going to all be sitting in more truck traffic. Period. That is a fact of life. It is never going away. So, if you don't like the direction that Channahon, Minooka, Shorewood, Joliet, Rockdale, and all of these other communities are heading in, you really have two choices now. Learn to live with the trucks, because it's never going away, or pack up and go look down the road at Ottawa. Go move to Seneca. Take a look at Marcel's, because it's not going to change here. And it's not because of the board, it's because of the predominant industry in the region. This is never going to change. We are going to continue to get trucks. We either take some of the tax revenue that goes with it, or we take none of it and all of the trucks that go with it anyway.